Vigilante Vibes, and I am here for another character breakdown of the underrated mutants of the Marvel Universe. I just keep going and going, and I'm not sure when I'm going to stop, so enjoy whatever comes out, because there's a lot of underrated mutants outside of the popular X-Men like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, all of them. So today, who are we talking about? We're actually talking about Arthur, or Artie Maddox. Artie Maddox made his first appearance in X Factor Volume 1, Number 2 in March 1986. He was created by Bob Layton and Jackson Gucci. Artie Maddox is the son of Dr. Carl Maddox, a devoted scientist. After trying to steal a serum from Dr. Henry McCoy, who we know as Beast, Carl was shot by the Secret Empire. He survived the attack and started a new life with his son Artie. Since Artie's mother had passed away years earlier, Carl was really all he had. Carl got a job at Ryan's Labs, and everything seemed fine until Artie's 11th birthday when his mutation kicked in. Unfortunately, it left him very disfigured and a mute. Desperate to fix what happened to his son, Carl hired the mercenary Tower to kidnap Dr. McCoy, knowing he was the only one who could help after Carl hit a dead end. Carl attempted an experiment to cure mutation, but all he managed to do was partially reverse Beast's blue furry form to an earlier state. Hoping to cover his tracks, Carl contacted X Factor, completely unaware they were actually Beast's teammates, and asked them to eliminate Tower. When X Factor showed up to rescue Beast, the lab security was triggered. Carl, realizing they'd shoot on sight, begged X Factor to save Artie and held off security himself. He was fatally shot in the process. So, place to be games. After that, Artie moved into the X Factor complex to live and train with the team. He played a key role in letting them know Rusty Collins had been kidnapped by Frenzy. Later, he got worried about Rusty again. Artie followed him and Skids into the Morlock tunnels where he met Leech and Caliban. At that time, the Marauders were slaughtering the Morlocks. Artie, Leech, and Caliban were terrorized by Sabretooth, but thankfully X Factor arrived just in time to save them. Artie got separated from Leech and Caliban but was found by Thor, who helped him reconnect with Cyclops and Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, and returned to the X Factor complex. After the massacre, Caliban and the remaining Morlocks decided to return to the tunnels, and Artie and Leech said their goodbyes. Later, when Emma Laporte was transferred to New York Hospital for treatment from injuries Rusty had unintentionally caused, Rusty struck a deal with the Morlock Mask. He would allow Mask to deform him if Mask restored Emma's face. Artie, Skids, and Boom Boom helped Rusty get Emma out of the hospital and brought her to the Morlock's temple. Mask did his part, but Emma rejected the deal when she found out, saying her beauty wasn't worth Rusty's suffering. We love a queen. Rusty and Skids fought Mask, and he eventually reversed the changes to both of them before retreating. Artie, along with Rusty, Skids, and Leech, were among the first to discover X Factor's PR guy, Cameron Hodge, was up to something shady. They overheard him talking to a group called The Right. After X Factor battled Apocalypse's horsemen in Central Park, Artie helped Rusty melt the mountain of ice that Iceman had used to trap the villains. Then, the kids were kidnapped by The Right and used as potential weapons. During their captivity, they learned Cameron Hodge was actually the commander of The Right. Thankfully, X Factor came up to their rescue. Artie and Leech later met Franklin Richards and the Power Pack, and the trio witnessed Franklin getting kidnapped by Quicksilver. After Apocalypse was defeated, his massive sentient ship crashed into X Factor's complex. The team moved into the ship, which only mutants could enter. Caliban left with Apocalypse around this time. During the holidays, the kids received donated gifts and decided to give them to the children displaced by the recent battles. Artie even dressed up as an elf for the occasion. It was adorable, and it further proves that Leech and Artie are the cinnamon rolls of the Marvel Universe. One night while they were asleep, Apocalypse reactivated his control over ship, causing it to attack. Rusty managed to free ship's consciousness, and the X Factor disarmed a bomb on board. Once ship was back to normal, it actually asked to stay with them. It could control its entire structure, create rooms, weapons, vehicles, basically anything, and even run training programs and build living spaces, which is like super, super helpful. While exploring ship, the kids ran into Beast, who was looking through some old photos and shared the origins of the X Factor as the original X-Men and students of Xavier's school. Later, Infectia tricked Iceman into letting her aboard ship. Beast tried to warn him that she was dangerous, but due to his temporarily lowered intelligence, Iceman did not get the message, went right over his head. Artie and the others had to stop her from kissing Iceman. Cockblock or whatever. When the Zartans and their leader Lord Zano, disguised as Avengers, attacked, Ship protected the kids, but they also stepped in to help X Factor during the fight. Later, when the team planned to send the kids to a private school, Marvel Girl and Iceman took them shopping for clothes, only to be attacked by the Alliance of Evil. After defeating them, Freedom Force showed up, demanded registration, and Rusty ended up turning himself into the Navy. After seeing Rusty off at the naval base, Artie and Leech enrolled at private boarding school called St. Simon's in New Hampshire, where they met another young mutant, WizKid. Not long after starting school, they were kidnapped by demon infants who hunted mutants, which is just as terrifying as it sounds. They were delivered to the demon Nastir, who was mad they weren't actually infants and held them hostage to motivate his minions to find real mutant babies. While in captivity, Artie sent a mental image to his old X Factor friends to clue them in. The former students of X Factor, now calling themselves the Exterminators, came to help, but they were also captured. Everyone was teleported to Times Square, where the new mutant Magic was trying to bring her teammates back from limbo. Nastir used 10 kidnapped infants, arranged in a mystical pentagram, to keep the portal open, since their purity made them perfect conduits of magical energy, which is just... it's dark. Following clues from WizKid, Artie and Leech managed to shut down Nastir's computer and free the Exterminators. The two then worked with the New Mutants to save the babies and stop the demonic ritual. Rusty suggested the Exterminators rescue WizKid while the New Mutants handled the rest. After they succeeded, Artie stayed behind to look after the infants while the others searched for magic. After the Inferno event ended, the Exterminators and New Mutants returned to X Factor's ship, bringing with them the rescued babies and Gossamer. Artie and Leech eventually returned to St. Simon's with WizKid, and the three had more adventures under the Exterminators' names. At one point, they were captured by Marrow, who was leading a violent Morlock faction. The X-Men rescued them and brought them to Massachusetts Academy, where Generation X was training. During their time there, Franklin Richards briefly attended the academy, and he, Artie, and Leech joined Howard the Duck and Man-Thing on a wild, dimension-hopping adventure to save the multiverse. They stayed at the academy for several months until it was destroyed by Emma Frost's evil sister, Adrian Frost. After M-Day, Artie lost his mutant powers but kept his unusual appearance and muteness. When he later joined the Future Foundation, they gave him a helmet that let him project images the same way his old powers did. Eventually, Artie resurfaced on Krakoa, the new mutant homeland established by Xavier, R.I.P. to Krakoa. As part of the new mutant culture, Artie trained in the quarry, where he sparred with Leech and lost during a session led by Silver Samurai. So, I think, like I said, he is one of the two cinnamon rolls of the Marvel Universe. Him and Leech are best friends, very sweet together. If you want to know more about Leech, just check out my channel because I have a breakdown of that sweet little thing too. So, I have some comics for you to check out. Just keep in mind, these are the ones I've read. If there's more that you think I should check out, let me know in the comments because I want to read, I want to know more. So, starting off, X Factor number 10 through 33, Exterminators 1 through 4, Future Foundation number 1 through 4, Fantastic Four 50 Fantastic Years. Side note, Artie was mixed up with Leech when it was printed. So Artie was accidentally Leech's signature shade of green instead of pink. It got fixed, but I think that's just a really fun fact. I like when those things happen. So, I hope you enjoyed this character breakdown of Artie Maddox. I hope you will like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of these breakdowns, and I hope you have a marvelous day. Goodbye.